Salam, any peace. You got your partner at AWRS1 with a Ricky Henderson story, right? You know, Rick came from New York and ended up playing for Oakland Tech, right? I went to Oakland Tech, but he was already gone playing pro before that. Anyway, we had an empty house on our block. I lived mid-east side, right? Which was off of Coolidge, not too far from 35th. Not too far from 35th and Fruitville. There was different sets around, different little mobs around there. It was the School Street, the 3-5 Snipers, the Fruitville Hustlers, 3-5 mob. Back over on the other side of Manzanita, you had the TS mob, and then 2-7 and 23rd. But anyway, the house was empty. Somebody moved in it, right? My little relative in the Lahi late Rajun, he get cool with the little cat that lived there. He bringing him over. He telling us that he related to Rick. I'm like, yeah, right. He's like, come over to my house, I'll show you. So he brings us over his crib. Boom, he got pictures up in there, him and Rick, you know, when Rick was young, when he was born, when he was a kid and all that, right? His mother was Samoan, right? She was cool too. She was black and Samoan, matter of fact. And he had a little sister, beautiful little sister, alhamdulillah. Anyway, we ended up meeting his pops, right? His pops came down, was like, yeah, you know, boom, Rick, my brother. He started telling us stories about Rick and how they kick it up at the house and how he bubbled and everything. He was like, all right, cool. He's like, man, you the young man that be watching my son when y'all be going fishing? I said, yeah. He was like, oh, okay, I want to thank you for that. So anyway, foods around the way was kind of sticking him in the back, you know, gossiping about the man. Because, he got a rich relative, his brother rich. You see what I'm saying? And they was kind of treating him kind of funny style. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, he cool with me. I'm going to go over here and see what's happening with him, right? So I go over and kick it with him. He started telling me more stories, too, about Rick and the upcoming events that was going on. He was like, yeah, man, you know, everything go right. Boom, I can hook you up. We can roll up to Rick's pad. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, cool, right? Boom. And unfortunately, at a young age, I had got involved with intoxicants. You know what I'm saying? So we out on the porch, we kicking it. He's like, yeah, man, I'm finna go in here and cook something to eat for me. And you cool? I'm like, I'm cool. Man, all I remember is 2 hours later, dude come out and shook me on the shoulder, right? I looked up. He's like, you cool, young partner? I'm like, yeah, we just both start laughing. You know what I'm saying? So I saw Rick up at the high school. He had came up there for a homecoming, right? Food saw that I had knew him and stuff. They was tripping. And then he came down on the block, right? And when he came down on the block, everybody could get autographs, pictures, whatever they wanted. You know what I mean? Everybody did that, but then everybody treated him just like, you know, they didn't hover over him. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, with famous people, you know, they get tired of that. And he there trying to see his people, his relatives. So, you know, everybody was cool. You know, we kicked it with him, you know what I'm saying? It was cool. And then they had the championship when they played the Yankees. And my little relative, he got invited, and I had got invited as well to the sit in the box up there and watch the game. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was already at the game because I had an angle that I used to work at the games. You know what I'm saying? That I had learned from one of my partners, from one of my partner's sister's menses. You see what I'm saying? That's a whole nother story. So anyway, I was up the game lounging, and then I see Reggie Jackson's nephew, right? I met Reggie Jackson too. His nephew went to McClymonds, got drafted when he was 17 for the San Francisco Giants. That's a whole nother story, right? Anyway, and I think Bill Russell went to McClymonds too, because you know Bill Russell went to USF. Anyway, that's pretty much my Ricky Henderson story, y'all. You know I don't want to hold y'all hostage, but hey, I felt it was worth telling at AWRS1. Dig it? And I know some other A's players too. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, hit that like, hit that subscribe. It's all for fresh, name.